for the world anew.
Welcome to Muffin Talk.
Shines a light to greet.
Kia ora and welcome to Muffin Talk. This program is brought to you by the initiative Titipounamu, Study and Joy. I'm pleased to be joined today by Szilvia Nagy. Szilvia, a warm welcome and hi to my tour radio program.
Thank you. Kia ora, everyone.
Szilvia Nagy and her husband Lajos are originally from Hungary, and they moved to Aotearoa, New Zealand in 2014, where they've been making Hungarian food better known and better loved. Hungary is a beautiful landlocked country that is connected with several European countries through the river Danube. As far as I remember, it was one of the first former Warsaw Pact countries that joined the NATO after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Szilvia, you are specialized in Hungarian food, with Hungary being a country with a history of migration and traders traveling through it for thousands of years. I believe that many of these people would have left their traces when it comes to Hungarian cuisine. Can you give us an overview of the Hungarian history from the perspective of cultures influencing the Hungarian cuisine?
Sure. Thank you. And thank you for your invitation to let me join this radio program. I am glad to be here and talk about our Hungarian heritage. Yes, you're right, Beata. Hungary has a long history, and during the centuries, other nations influenced our cultures, traditions, and gastronomy. Hungary can see back more than 1,000 years. In the middle of the Europe, our nation has been always attacked over history. My country was the biggest and also the smallest. In the wars, Hungary was the winners and the losers also. It was a huge kingdom, monarchy and republic, and gave queens and kings to many countries. The Eastern and Western European and Asian influence determined the present Hungary. We knew and used other countries' spices, fruits, meats, grain, and cooking methods. Of course, they took ours also. Everyone heard about the famous Hungarian goulash, probably. But for cooking kettles, this is a special food making method. Probably you heard about our sausages, the great bright red Hungarian paprika that is mild or spicy, the tasty fish soup or the fluffy sourdough bread, the Hungarian fried bread, the lángos, and the strong alcohol, the parinka.
Szilvia, I think that you have to break all of things down so that we know a little bit more. I know as a German, I know goulash. Okay,
Yep.
but maybe you can explain a little bit about the goulash, because if somebody comes from a different culture, might not know, because that's very Hungarian, and I know that it's widespread in Central Europe.
Okay, so the goulash is a traditional Hungarian food. We usually made that by beef or pork, and the main ingredient is the onion and the paprika.
Onions and paprika.
Yeah. Yes, and of course the
Is it
mares.
hot paprika or is it mild?
It could be the spicy and could be the mild, but usually the Hungarian people like the spicy food, so it's often spicy. So the goulash knowledge is a little bit tricky in the different countries, because the original goulash is making cattle, and this doesn't include any vegetables. So the goulash is usually like a stew.
It's just meat and it's
Just meat and the
onions
stew.
and paprika.
Yeah, the goulash soup is including different vegetables. It will be rich, a lot of different flavor and more liquidy. So this is the difference between the goulash and the goulash soup. But if someone heard about the goulash, probably thinking for the goulash soup, so it's a little bit confusing for the people. But we never put in the goulash pasta.
Do you have potatoes go with it?
Yeah, but it's a side, so we don't cook together.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point, because that's how I know goulash also. You have goulash and you have the potatoes, and then you cook the potatoes and put goulash on top of it.
Yes. Or instead the potato, we make the Hungarian noodles, a galushka, which is a very, very small it's like a noodle. Yeah, it's like a noodle, but it's small and it doesn't include anything else, just flour.
Do you also have a lot of garlic, don't you, in Hungary?
Yes, but it's not the main, but we use the garlic also, yeah.
Yeah. And then about the salami, you talked about the sausages and salami. What is so special? Because there are salamis from many countries. What do you think makes the Hungarian salami so good?
The paprika. Probably. So it is again, what we use sausage, it is which made with paprika. So it's the color is red and the taste could be spicy or mild, and it's very rich in the meat. And the salami, what we Hungarian people call salami, it's not usually is not made with paprika. So this is a little bit different. So our sausages is with the paprika products, and the salami is just without paprika. Usually, of course, it's during the years it's changed.
And tell me, do you grow your own paprika?
No,
You said it from Hungary.
no, we not me. So that family, my family doesn't. But for example, in my hometown, has a very good paprika maker company called Fitodri, and we use that for the our sausage.
So you
They
import
have
the ingredients.
yes, just the paprika, the spicy
Okay.
paprika.
Yeah. And what about the meat? Do you get it from special sources here in New Zealand?
We just use the special cutted pork because usually the Hungarian sausage made by pork. So we can make from any other meat also, but usually the pork the main ingredients for the paprika. And we use usually the shoulder and the leg part and just some fat. Our family has our own recipe who make the own sausage. And it's a big celebration. So the family members just going together for the pig shoulder, dancing together, drinking together, eating together, singing, and just made a pig shoulder and then use all of part of the pig and make a sausage, salami, and the different parts of the pork. And this is very traditional and for example, our sausages based on 150 years old family recipe. It is my husband family sausage, and it's amazingly good. But probably every family said it's my sausage is the best, of course. But it's just developed years to years. The grandfathers give to the grandchildren to the recipe, and they made every year.
I remember that when I grew up, we also had like a celebration of the family when we made the sausages, and the homemade sausages are quite special. And I like that you bring that tradition here to New Zealand with your husband's recipe or your husband's family recipe.
Yes.
Is your husband a butcher?
No, not just. It is a very big traditional in Hungary.
Yeah.
So the family members just going together and teach each other who can make it, and it's a method.
In New Zealand, he makes the sausages.
First, when we start to make, yes, but we already has a contract with this butcher, and they make for us the sausage, but we give the instruction who can do that. Yeah, and the secret recipes.
And you have to have a secret contract that they don't use it for other purposes.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's wonderful. I like this idea. And you mentioned some other food that I'm not familiar with when you mentioned all the different specialities that you have in Hungary. Can you tell me about the other ones that you mentioned?
Here in New Zealand, the paprika is coming from Asia or for India, which is also a very nice paprika. So it's a very good quality.
Yeah.
But the Hungarian paprika is also a very nice. The color is much brightly and red. So if you put the two paprika next to each other, you can see the difference. I'm talking about the fish soup, which is also a very traditional Hungarian meal. In Hungary, we haven't sea, so we have only a rivers. So the rivers fish.
Sorry, but you have a big lake. You have the Balaton.
Yeah, also, yeah. So all area has a different soup, but they use the specific fish for the soup. and it's a traditional method, and every area had their own secret tradition, and they always fight each other, which is the better. So the fish soup is
what fish
also
is it?
paprika, onion. This is the base.
So what fish is it? Hungarian fish, or do
It's
you
a
take
Hungarian
Hungarian
fish, but I don't know the name in English, so
What is
sorry.
this? What is the Hungarian name?
It's a point.
Uh-huh.
My father-in-law was a very good fisherman, and next to our hometown has a river, is a Körös, and he was a fisher in this area, and what is the fish? A busha.
So what kind of fish is it? Is it like, can you compare it to a carp or a trout? Is it a shellfish?
No, it's not the shellfish. So when I made here in New Zealand, I use the catfish, the trevally for that. These two fish. So it's a white fish, which is the big white meat has. Yeah, because it has to be a small meat pieces in the fish. Yeah, but the main ingredient is the paprika and the onion.
So what would Hungarians do without paprika and onions? I think they won't survive.
Probably, yes.
I remember when I was in Hungary and I met a lady who said in Hungary we eat one day potato and pork and the next day pork and potatoes. But what you are saying is like you have all these spices. She didn't mention the paprika and the onions, which makes a whole difference. And I think that now you have the fish soup, you mentioned the goulash, you mentioned the salami. Much of your food is in the kettle because it gets quite cold in Hungary in the winter, doesn't it?
Yes. Is that in the winter? Is during the summertime, probably. Yeah, because the kettle is the outside.
Oh, it's kettle for the outside on the fire.
Yes. Yeah. So usually it's in an open fire. So this is the tradition. So open fire and they put just hang on the kettle in the big leg. In the present, some family use the gas fire, but the tradition is the open fire. So it's every time is outside, so it's not inside meat. So interesting, sorry, because it's usually the woman make the food in the families. But in Hungary, in the kettles, the goulash always makes the man.
That reminds me of Samoa when I was there, and they said to me, our food traditionally is made outside with a fire, and that's men's work. But of course, with modern kitchens, things are changing. But I can understand, yes, because they might have little children walking around too close to the fire. You mentioned the alcohol that you have. What kind of alcohol is that?
It's a palinka. Yeah, it's a very strong. Yeah, it's similar to the brandy, but it's not that. And it's fruit. So it's made from fruit, usually from plum, pear, apple, or cherry. But the two main is the plum and pear.
The pear, plum and pear, yeah. So that's like many of the schnapps what we have, but it's a kirsch, which is also based on cherry. And it's clear, isn't it? It's
clear
and very strong.
And the alcohol content is very high. It's in Hungary, it's around 50%. In the past, a lot of family made it at home, actually. I am not sure for the methods. I don't want to say nothing wrong. Yeah. And this is like an aperitif. So before you can start to eat, just one snap. And it's old traditional words. If you are sick, just drink a palinka and you will be better.
I think the palinka also prepares you for heavy food.
Yeah.
And it can be heavy on your stomach. But if you have a palinka beforehand, I think that helps.
Yeah, it helps for everything. If you have a pain, it will help.
I think the main thing is that you don't overdo it. As long as you take it like medicine and don't overdo it, I think that it's all fine.
Yeah, but don't mix it with together because could be very wrong. And it's so interesting because here in New Zealand, it has a family who make this drink. They are living in Masterson. It's available for online order if someone interesting about that. So they make here in New Zealand, the Hungarian palinka.
And tell me about when you have strong alcohol, you have the meat, you have the paprika, you also have bread, you have sourdough bread. Tell me about the bread.
Yes, so the bread, it's a traditional, very fluffy, big, maybe 1 kg or more bigger sort of bread. Usually we made that in a big, called this kemence. So traditionally, it's a big oven, it's a furnace.
Furnace.
It's a big, warm.
It's a special oven.
It's a special. So yeah, it was a traditional. So in the past, so it was also the open fire inside, and it has a chimney. So and it was a very very nice fluffy bread. So that was the Hungarian traditional bread. Of course, it was in the past, but it's still some company make in Hungary, and it's very nice.
For your bread, do you get it from Hungary or do you make your own?
Actually, you can make at home, so it's not too big things, but it's not the same because in the electric oven or any other oven is different. So you can't make that kind of bread. But if we are going to Hungary, I'm always eat that, and it's very good but very heavy.
You need a palinka.
Yeah, I need a palinka. And there's other fried bread, but it's probably a lot of people heard about here in New Zealand because it's different markets available. It's a fried bread, what we call langos. It's fried in deep oil. The langos is like a big circle, and it's not fluffy because we use the yeast inside. So if you put in the oil, it's just immediately bam.
Oh, that's like pita bread.
No, it's similar, but not that, because it's very crispy and some part of fluffy, some part of very thin, and it's amazingly good.
So now we've talked about the main food. Tell me about desserts. Do you have desserts in Hungary?
Yes, we have a lot of different desserts, like here in New Zealand. Our desserts is usually fluffy, more fluffier. So here, that is my experience. The lot of dessert, it's hard, and very sweet, and like a fudge or something like that. So our dessert is much fluffier, and the cream is also very fluffy, and it's big, so not that's flat, so it's bigger and it's very yummy.
Can you tell me one typical dessert?
I just tell about what I can make. Maybe it's
Yeah.
easier because
Yeah.
it's I can talk about more. Turu Rudi. It's a kind of chocolate bar which we fill with quark, which is vanilla and lemon flavor. New Zealanders said it's similar to the cheesecake in chocolate, but it's not that because it's not cheese, so it's quark. But I thought it's a very very famous in Hungary, and I can make it. It's like a cottage cheese, just it's salty, and it's much firmer, so it's different a little bit. Yeah.
Szilvia, so you've come here, now we've talked a lot about food. You've come here to New Zealand to start introducing Hungarian food? Is that the reason why you came?
No. Actually, when we came here, we arrived here, my husband got the job, so that was the reason we come here. I just came like without no idea what were I doing. Our daughter was 3 in that time, so when we arrived to New Zealand, so I spent my time with her, and I'm just trying to find my place in the new country. First time when we started to miss this the Hungarian cuisine. You know, when we arrive, we just enjoy the life, go to the market, try a lot of New Zealander food, and some times later, we just started to miss the traditional food. And because we can't buy here, we just decided, okay, we will make here or the sausage for ourselves. You know, it was very interesting because in the one of just very small shop, we just went in and we find a Hungarian sausage fillet, traditional one. And we buy that and we use for that, for the sausage filling. It's a little bit different like the other bigger machine. So there's a small one and we love that. And we start to use the sausage for us. You know, the most difficult things was the smoker. because it's a cold smoking. So we don't want to cook the sausage when we're smoking. And my husband is a very good handyman. And he made a box and he made a smoker and just started to use that. So it was quite very good work for the first time. But we just, in this time, we just made the sausage for ourselves, of course. So it's not, but that was the start, how we started. You know, when we invited some friends, they liked the sausage, and we just start to make more. If we had already a smoker, I'm just thinking, okay, I can put my cheese in the smoker because we Hungarian people love the smoked cheeses. I just tried this one. And you know, in Hungary, we usually use for smoke the oak wood.
Yeah.
So the smoke taste is totally different. And here in New Zealand, it is not available, and we would like to try something new. So we just tried the manuka wood for smoking. So all sausages and all cheeses got the manuka wood smoke, and it's amazingly good. So it's not just different because of the flavor; it's different because of the smoke flavor also.
That's very important. As you mentioned, it depends on not just about the meat and the ingredients, but how you smoke it, how you
Yep.
prepare the sausages. And I think that you are now in a way expanding your family knowledge. You have new sausage, new things that incorporate the place where you live. That's wonderful. Tell me about the project with the school lunches.
Oh yeah, this is the interesting story. So because in Hungary, it's a very normal. So the students got warm food every day in the school. Of course, it's not free, and the schools has a facilities for that, but this is the normal. And when we arrived here to New Zealand, it was very word for me, you know, the lunch boxes, and just some kindergarten can provide the warm food to the kids, even the schools. So it's usually they use the lunch box. This was my biggest problem. I tried to, you know, give to my kids warm food, but it was hard to keep warm or just warming it up in the school. So I'm trying to my best. In my son's schools, in the last year, I just saw the Dollars for School company. They just started to provide every day in the schools a different meal. So they started with sushi, with Subway, and with pie. And this is a very good idea. So they just funded this company with two purposes. So one was the food, so there's food for the student, and one other, from every order, $1 going to the school, like a donation. So it's a very good idea. So the students will eat and the school got donations. So it's a win-win situation. So you can order for that day, 9 a.m. and your kid will get the food in his room in lunchtime, disposable packaging, cutlery, and it will be warm. So it's very good. So I'm just call them.
Tell me, are you providing the food for the lunch boxes now?
No, so when I joined to this company, I provide a menu. So the parents and the students can choose. Now already more than 11 different menu. It is all freshly cooked meal, and it's including hamburger, including hot dog, different pasta. And also I can offer for vegetarian, for just beef, just pork, chicken menu. And this has cheaper and a little bit more expensive. So maybe have pastry and all food made with the air fryer and cooked. So I don't use the oil so the deep fryer oil. My sweets, it's content low sugar. So I try to be the food as healthier as I can.
So that's wonderful. So you're providing healthy food for school lunches also.
Yeah.
And so your business is mainly catering, is it right?
Yes, that's correct. So
And
one part is the catering, and including the lunch orders, and I have individual catering also.
Yeah. So somebody can ask you, can you provide the meals for my birthday celebration, for example?
Yes, definitely. I have a own menu, so they can choose from that, which is usually it's finger food, but I open for plan all different menu also. My catering business is a little bit push away now because I'm very busy with the lunch orders and the smoked cheeses and the other food. But I am the provider for the Hungarian embassy. So if they have a business event here in Auckland, I will make the catering for that. So it's always very elegant.
Has a getting approval from the ambassador. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. And also if the Hungarian club handle the Hungarian club day, I am there and selling their Hungarian meats and Hungarian sweets. And every year I make cake of the Hungary because in August it has a big celebration in Hungary. They always chose one cake from the whole country, which is the cake of the Hungary. It's a national anniversary. So it is founded Hungary in August in 1,000 years ago.
So what date in August?
It's 20th of August.
20th of
But
August.
yeah, and in Hungary, before that, they just introduced the cake of the Hungary. From 20th of August, they can sell in Hungary the different shop. Make here the New Zealander version because the recipe is secret. So I never know the recipe. So I just knew the ingredients and the critics, what they tell about, and I just made in my hand and do that.
Tell us about the other cheeses that you have.
Okay, so we are selling smoked cheeses, which is awarded in last year in the New Zealand Artisan Award with Bronze Award. So all of cheeses got this medal. We have hard cheeses, Edam, cheddar, parmesan, and we have soft cheeses, cream cheese, brie, camembert, blue vein, and feta. And we also cater for the dairy-free cheeses. So we have dairy-free mozzarella and cheddar. And we just give these cheeses a beautiful smoky flavor. And actually it's a totally new cheese because the smoke changed everything, the texture, the color, and the flavor.
Do you have paprika in the cheese?
No, we don't make the cheese. So we just smoke it.
Oh, you smoke it. So it's the
with
special
the
way of
manuka wood.
smoking it. With
Yeah.
manuka.
Yeah.
So Hungarian cheese with manuka flavor.
It's a New Zealander cheese.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It's a New Zealander cheeses, and we just buy a good quality cheese and make from the otherwise beautiful cheeses the totally new cheese.
That's great. Thank you very much, Szilvia. I think we've learned a lot about Hungarian cuisine and about specialities, about your work and about the school lunches. And so if anybody's interested in Hungarian food, they can go to your website.
My website is szilvias.co.nz. So szilvias.co.nz.
Thank you very much, Szilvia. And
thank you.
All the best. And I hope that many New Zealanders and many people in New Zealand will enjoy your food.
Out there, oh, peace is calling. In the bonds of love we meet. For the world a new day dawning and shines a light to greet. We're singing, this is the day when the hope was calling. This is the day when the light did shine. This is the day when the world can sing. Can you hear the cry for the wounds to be healed? justice and mercy and peace are the songs in our heart. The joy that this day is the day for a brand new start. We're singing, this is the day when the hope was calling. This is the day when the light did shine. This is the day when the world can sing. Terami Marie, Altero a Christmas spring. Terami Marie, Altero a peace is calling. In the bonds of love we meet. For the world a new day dawning and shine.